For the last 10 years, I exercised in the name of fitness. I looked up workouts that were going to target certain areas of my body. I tried to build a consistent gym schedule. I thought that running was going to make me a healthier person, some sort of athlete, maybe. And while there were elements of this that were good for me, I was working my body in new ways and challenging it to new limits, both mentally and physically. In a lot of ways, for a long time, my idea of movement was fitness and formal fitness and fitness for physique's sake. And it was just recently when I was sipping water after a sweaty and challenging yoga class that I was wondering why I kept dragging myself out of bed at 5 a.m. to go to this class. The benefits that yoga has been creating in my life far outweigh the fitness goals and fitness routines that I had for such a very long time. Yoga is helping to shape this season of my life, and I'm so grateful for that. And I wanted to share with you today some of the benefits that yoga has been having for me, both on and off my mat, maybe to encourage you to think beyond fitness into movement for so many other reasons. Hey there. Welcome to Be Well with Steph, the podcast, the show for women who know that personal wellness can be an actively pursued goal and who are ready to tackle building healthier daily habits with a little bit of good humor, a little bit of grace, and a lot of coffee. I'm Steph Genko, your holistic nutrition coach and your host, and I'm here to help empower you to create and maintain a healthy lifestyle you love, a lifestyle that gives you the strength, energy, and confidence to go after your wildest dreams. Yoga makes me aware of my body. When I'm on my mat, I breathe deeply and I pay attention to how those breaths feel. I can tell specifically where the tension is in my body, where it's resting. I can tell which hip is higher, which shoulder feels stronger, and which feels sore. I can feel all the muscles of my core working together. I can feel the sweat dripping down my face and making me aware of my skin and all the sensations that my skin feels. I can tell how much work my feet and my legs must really do, holding me up all day. When I'm off my mat, yoga makes me aware of my body too. Some of that awareness continues throughout the day. It becomes obvious to me when I need a break from the computer, when my neck or my eyes are tired. Sometimes I can tell that I've been holding my breath for too long, or I've been sitting out of alignment off to one side. There are times where taking a short stretch break or doing a quick body scan become enough to reset myself and allow myself to have greater focus or energy. That's how yoga makes me aware of my body. Yoga forces me out of my head and into my heart. I'm the type of person who spends so much time thinking. All of the time, really. My brain is continually planning, organizing, creating things, having ideas, making mental maps, keeping lists, processing or sharing information, and getting my brain to slow down is so difficult for me. When I'm on my mat, there is no space to think about any of that. Instead, I breathe, I move, and I have the opportunity to see what my heart says. Often a mantra will unfold in my mind, or a phrase or idea will get stuck in my head, and maybe I was just supposed to have that thought that day. When I'm off my mat, that idea will stick with me, will give me a new sense of intention or comfort for the day. And I leave my mat able to face the day or the week or whatever my next moves are going to be without all the mental clutter and with a little bit more clarity. That's how yoga forces me out of my head and into my heart. Yoga makes me feel powerful. When I'm on my mat, pushing the physical limits of what my body can do excites me. I like to feel strong. Even when I modify a pose or I know that I am going through a flow slower than the person next to me, I know that I'm working to my body's full capacity and I'm working with control. And there is power in that for me. It's like I work up all the strength and power that's been within me all along, and then I let it radiate out in the fullest expression that I'm capable of. I've never felt myself do that anywhere else. Even when it's difficult or when something feels uncomfortable, I know that those feelings are temporary and that for a few moments, I can handle quite a lot. Then when I'm off my mat, I remember how strong that I was and the work that I put in there. I remember the sweat and the shaking arms and the legs that almost couldn't stand any longer. And I think that power is inside of me. It's in me all the time. And it's in you too, even when you don't always feel it. The more I practice, the more I engage in this powerful yoga practice, the more that I remember that strength. And at the times I feel weak, I can scrounge some of that power back up. And even when something in life is difficult or uncomfortable, I can remind myself that it is temporary and that for a few moments, I can handle an awful lot in life too. That's how yoga makes me feel powerful. Yoga teaches me to be gentler. Sometimes when I'm on my mat, I can't physically do everything that's available in a practice. It's simply not available to me, yet anyway. And I have to be kind to myself in those moments. In paying attention to how my body and my breath feel as I move, I learn to take what I need: a deeper stretch, a fuller exhale, a sip of water, a forced smile so that I remember this is something I enjoy. I learn to guard my thoughts, and I hear myself say, "You can't do it." So I reply, "That's okay. You're doing your best." When I'm off my mat, I try to be a little bit gentler too. I try to breathe before I speak to others, and I try to speak kinder. I try to pause before I react. I try to allow difficulties to come and go and pass without bearing too much weight on me. And I keep repeating the word try because I am still learning and still growing. And that's how yoga teaches me to be gentler. Yoga challenges me to grow. When I'm on my mat, I am making progress. I feel myself hop a little higher, sink a little lower, hold a little longer, smile a little more. It's easier for me now to rest and to be still than it used to be, although it's still not so easy. And I never, ever thought that I would be making 6 a.m. classes and enjoying them, but here we are. It's building discipline. And when I am off my mat, I like to believe that I am growing in all of these ways too, in my awareness, in my intuition, in my strength and control, in gentleness and peacefulness, and I hope that I continue to grow. Thank you for allowing me to share some of these reflections with you. I hope that at some point in your life, you are able to find a kind of movement that you can engage in that just feels good. That feels good in your mind and in your body and in your heart. And maybe it's yoga, or maybe it is lifting weights or running. But I hope that you find a way to move that is healthy for your body, but also healthy for your mind and healthy for your heart. The big, bright light that's inside of me sees and honors the same big, bright light that is inside of each and every one of you. Be well.
I won't be overwhelmed by every topic to the twist and turn. I'll get the gist, I'll learn my way. Each time I wait, I'll bless the day. Instead, bounce it. I won't be overturned. Each and every little concern, and I feel the burden.
you so much for listening to Be Well with Steph, the podcast. When there are a million things that you could be doing, I appreciate your choosing to hang out here. And I am proud of you for continuing to work on your own wellness journey. I invite you to head over to BeWellWithSteph.com for the details from this episode, my blog, upcoming events, and lots of other resources. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Be Well with Steph everywhere you like to hang out on social media, so come on over and say hi. Until next time, my friends, be well.